AITA for being annoyed that my wife opened a letter addressed to only me. Been married 8 years. We have nothing to hide. I would never get mail my spouse couldn't read. A few weeks ago, I came home, and a thick letter, addressed to me, was open. I think it was something related to insurance. But you couldn't tell from the envelope. I was annoyed it was open. And I expressed my frustration that a letter in my name was open. This has never came up before. And I've never opened a letter addressed to only her. I thought it was done and over with. But a couple times recently, she's made a couple sarcastic comments about not having opened mail addressed to me. I let the first one go, but we argued about the second comment. AITA? Do you all open your spouse's mail? Does it matter to you? Edit. Thanks for the replies. I never expected this amount of response. I'm probably gonna turn off notifications for a while, so I can sleep soon. The only thing I want to clarify, since I saw it a couple of times, why keep bringing it up? Why does it bother me? Why don't I drop it? Quote. The argument was a couple of weeks back. It lasted a couple of minutes. After that seemed like that. There's been 2 sarcastic comments from her about it. The first, I ignored, and was a few days ago, tonight. I didn't ignore the second one, and asked why she kept doing that. Never got much of a response. Either way, it's likely something bigger is going on. And no, we're not divorcing over this or anything. I just wanted to see how others fall on this, since I imagine it's something that happens in a marriage, joint relationship. Nah, just gotta clarify that's a boundary. I wouldn't dream of opening my partner's mail unless we were both expecting something very obvious and discussed prior. But I've watched other couples open each other's mail, no big deal. I get super pissed when my partner opens my mail. Mostly because I love getting mail and I rarely get any. He gets mail all the time, so it's as big a deal to him. He opened my stuff once and I got upset. He said he understood why and hasn't opened anything again. That was the end of it. Sometimes if we order things together, I'll ask him not to open it without me. Maybe it's silly, but he always waits. Def NTA. Wife is TA for the snippy comments afterwards. We open each other's mail and packages all the time. Since I paid the bills, joint account, but I wrote the checks, or paid online, I opened all mail, except envelopes that were obviously cards around his birthday or Father's Day. And at Christmas, cards that were from his side of the family. NTA. I'm married. WFH. And collect re-mail every day. I leave my husband's in the same spot each day for him to open. It's his mail. He should open it. I leave it for him to open unless he asks me to open it for him. Mostly because it's usually nothing fun, bills, etc., or interesting to me, hobby-related or random Amazon purchases, etc. I was super curious about what something was. I would just ask him. He has clearly stated in the past he wouldn't care if I opened something without permission. Nothing to hide, etc. But I just don't want to. I feel the same as he does and he affords me the same level of privacy I offer him. NTA. And isn't that illegal? My mom used to get super annoyed whenever my dad opened her mail. The reason he opened her mail was 100% because he always just assumed all mail was for him. And always opened everything. She used to yell, "It's a federal offense to open someone else's mail." It's a refrain from my childhood I remember often. We don't open each other's mail. And we ask before opening packages addressed to each other. I don't think I'd care either way. Though, if he opened something I'd be asking for the TLDR instead of being frustrated. I'm not sure how he'd react since it isn't something we do. Nah, I'm the sole income earner. As such, most of the utilities and bills are in my name, so they all come with just my name on them. My wife is a stay-at-home mom and essentially runs the day-to-day stuff with the house as she opens the mail. I've never thought twice about it. You sound like you're more possessive. Have another talk with her and let her know about your preference. That being said, if you do get mail addressed to only you, don't let it sit either. Open it as soon as you're made aware of it. Some spouses get in the habit of opening mail because the person it's addressed to doesn't get around to it for days. NTA. I'm married and do open mail for my husband, but I asked him why before the first time I did it, and he gave me the go-ahead. Now I just do it with what I think is junk so I can shred it without him missing something important. And he doesn't have to deal with the headache of sifting through tons of junk mail. Feel like this is only okay to do if you ask first and set up some ground rules. NTA. Opening someone else's mail is a felony. It's called obstruction of correspondence and will land you federal time in prison. While you may have a no secrets policy in your house, personal mail is still personal, and you should be the first to read it. I open my spouse's mail, all of it. However, we spoke about it and I have his permission to do so. I never opened my husband's or my daughter's mail. It just felt like an invasive thing to do. I was married for 35 years before my husband passed away. We had no secrets, but we never opened each other's mail. We didn't know each other's passwords either, and it wasn't a problem. I had to call Apple to get into his computer after he died. It felt weird. No surprises though. You would think you would get a "I'm sorry I opened your mail by mistake" comment. NTA. It's okay to have boundaries that may not make sense to other people. You don't want her to open your mail. She shouldn't open your mail. She may feel a little weird that you didn't like it, which is honestly fine too. But making snarky comments about it is never the way to go. You are married and live together. Plus you have no secrets to hide according to you. So I find it a little weird that you are making such a big deal out of it. But other people operate differently, I suppose? NTA. I am not married, but I would be annoyed if someone opened my mail. NTA. See. People have different boundaries. If that's where your boundaries lie, you should bring it up with her. This is something that ticks me off. My parents do this, so I know it's gonna stick with me if I ever get married. If this is something that seriously bothers her, I know some people would face with rolling eyes. You can come to a compromise by opening it together when you get back.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.